Now, has it ever occurred to you when Moses threw the rod down, he didn't turn to any other random animal like the lion, which is the most fearful animal, or the elephant, which is the most biggest animal, or the cheetah, which is the most fastest animal? No, rather, it turned into a snake. The question is, why a snake? Why any other animal but a snake? Has that question ever occurred to you? Have you ever thought about that for a second? Now listen carefully. I'm about to share something powerful with you. Pay attention. Here is a little background story. As at a time, the children of Israelites were in captivity in Egypt, and Pharaoh was greatly feared. As God had heard the cry of his people. The people have been suffering for a very long time. Now God wants to send someone more like a freedom fighter, and that was how Moses was introduced. However, the encounter Moses had with God in the burning bush and several other things where God gave him an instruction, Moses told God, now if you are sending me to Pharaoh, which is also somebody I'm running away from, because Moses committed a crime that he was running away from Pharaoh for a very long time. Now God is sending him to meet that same person. He's afraid. He said, show me a sign that when I meet Pharaoh, he will know exactly that you are the one that sent me. Now God asked him and said, what is your hand? That was when he said a rod, and God asked him to throw the rod on the ground, which he did, and immediately the rod turned into a snake. He picked it back and it returned back into a rod. Now when Moses met with Pharaoh, he did exactly what God commanded him to do, and that is, he threw the rod on the ground and it turned into a snake. Pharaoh called all his own magicians. Remember, Pharaoh is also powerful as well. He called his magicians, sorcerers, astrologers, and the rest of it, and they threw their rod on the ground. And it was instructed that Moses' rod, besides, if you read the story very well, it was not even Moses' rod, it was the rod of Aaron. The rod swallowed up every other rod which turned into a snake, swallowed every other snakes, and went back and turned back into a rod. Now our bone of contention is about the rod turning into a snake. Why not any random animal? That was not a random miracle. That was not a default miracle, or that was not a default display. It was intended by God himself. It was designed by God himself for that miracle to take place. In Egypt, snakes symbol